I'm gonna have a miss that flight. Folks, let me say to you tonight, I'm gonna miss that flight. I'm gonna miss that flight. And our case in the morning, sedition. 9 o'clock. But folks, don't worry yourself. I'm gonna fight that. Let me begin by saying that every time I hear that song that was written by Tears, the young guy from Mara, his name is Gideon King, young man, we know each other from way back. It brings great emotions to my heart. Because the song says exactly what we are about. We are about fighting for every single child. Every child. Every child. Every family. And every village. This is what this party is about. You know, as I stood there in the shadows, my mind went to a scripture. Matthew 27, verse 35. Ali, Ali, Ali? I mean, Ali there. Sister Daniel, you there? But go say for the Adventist people around me there, you know. I used to be a preacher in one incarnation. And the scripture basically says that when they had crucified him, they divided his clothes and cast lots. After they crucified him, they then took that which was valuable off of him and they divided it up and they cast lots. After the PNM crucified Tobago, they begin to divide up Tobago for themselves and they're casting lots tonight. Somebody said Tracy win. Somebody said Tracy win and they're casting lots. You know what happened, folks? They have killed Tobago. They have killed tourism in Tobago. So now they measure the tourists by those that arrive on the boat and not those that come off the ship. So they measure the boat load. So if 5,000 come in the boat, they say 5,000 people came to Tobago today. And they are right. They came. But we are not the beneficiary of 5,000 tourists on our streets. They have killed tourism. They have killed the transportation system. Buses, whether it be fast ferry, whether it be the plane, they have killed it. They have killed family life. Because now they have made people lazy. By giving you work to do, nothing to do, and paying a little bit of money. So they tie up your whole life. They have simply killed Tobago. And they have cast lots tonight to see who will win. Who will get it? They divide it up. And somebody said Tracy win. Follow me back there. Let me back there. Let me back a soul in my folly. Let me back a soul in folly. Folly walk with the bag of salt tonight. That's not me back. I ain't gonna get no salt. I just want to show them the bag of salt tonight. That's the next chief secretary of the PDP, our candidate. And he's a man that is quite serious about victory. So it's a big capo, small capo, same bag of salt. We walk with the bag of salt for them tonight. Well, if it is true that Tracy wins, then we want to say you may never get a chance to serve. Because you cannot serve as chief secretary. You are not an assemblyman. No one voted for you. The best you could do is wait until the election call, run up for a seat which you will lose, because the PDP intend to win all the seats in Tobago. All the seats. So there will be no minority leader. But we will engage the people. And the people will choose among themselves persons to represent them. Not the PNM. I was talking to a friend the other day, and the friend told me something. It was kind of absurd, but I think it makes a little sense. He said, Watson, he said, when you win, get the URP people and them to go up in the high woods and to dig out all the balisay plant and them, bring them down. He said, and burn them. He said, burn all of them. He said, if people want to see balisay, they're going to Trinidad. It doesn't belong across here. It's not a natural plant across here. I don't know. I said it's some kind of absurd, but it makes a kind of sense. If they want to see balisay, they're going to Trinidad. It's not a natural plant of Tobago. And so we want to let them know tonight that we are prepared. And I want to thank Tashia, Grace, Burris for accepting the call, for being my running mate. I want to thank Falish Chavez Augustine for after rejecting the call for a whole year, he accepted the call one day. I want to thank my dear Faith B. Israel, Dr. Faith B. Israel, for after locking off the phone and saying she's a technocrat. One day, she responded to the call and said, boy, I love this thing. She became so dangerous. She became so risky that when me and Fali said we're going and swim to Trinidad, Faith, who cannot swim, put on a life vest and was in a boat going to Trinidad with us. Well, I don't tell my brother Fali already. If it's anything, so we're going to double up and save she. Understand? Because it's plenty of women to save. One man can't save Dr. Faith. One man can't save Dr. Faith. You take two men. This is the kind of risk takers we have in the PDP. Tonight I'm very thankful at Alicia Roberts Patterson. Though she has her own career, she's comfortable. She has decided to answer the call and to fight and fight and fight. She's one of the community leaders, I would say, not gangsters, in Bethel. Wonderful job. When we're talking about bringing people together, talking about Alicia Roberts Patterson. I am very happy today to be in Bethel. I'm happy to be in Bethel because we came to collect something. We came to collect what? We came to collect the baton. We came to collect what? We came to collect what? You know, as Vibes Cartel say, he said when one star gone, and next one? And next one born. So when one star gone, and next one born. And today I'm here to say to you, Bethel, a young woman who will become the voice of Tobago West is born here tonight. She's my running mate. Now I'm going to hustle through some things tonight, and I'm going to spend some time on some things. Our message is a deep message. It's a radical message. It is a message that every Tobagonian has embraced for years, but were too afraid to speak out. Too afraid to put on the platform. But I want to go somewhere tonight. I want you to have some things to show you tonight. I'm going to show them to you now. Dr. Ned, can you have one person and yourself? Come please. Fali and Dr. Ned, come please. I want to show you all something tonight. I want you all to stick around. Come close. I'm going to show you all something tonight. Something. I have here a Trinidad and Tobago dollar. Some of you may have never seen it, from 1930 something, but it's symbolic. I have here the laws of Tobago from 1880 something, where you will see we had our own chief magistrate, our own chief justice, our own police commissioner, our own surgeon, and we'll show you something. Tobago. Watch that, Mike.
Technology boy. Wow.
So folks, bear with us. Always look at this conjunction here. Can everybody see that? Come on the stage. Tell me that person. That language.
Yeah, man.
Right. Step back a bit, step back a bit. Go left a bit.
Straight along.
Go look it. Right. So do you see that?
Yeah. Hand it back now.
Now over here is Trinidad. Good. Oh yeah. Right here is Trinidad. And it's still $1 from 1938. This is represent Trinidad. Across here represents Tobago. There are some words down here that says she becomes more beautiful. That was the words used on the dollar. It was on every single dollar. That is a $1. I'm going to show you what a $5 look like. This is a $5. It was red. Right? Come back a little closer for me. Right, you can see it? That is the Tobago part, Trinidad, Tobago. We had $1 that balanced Tobago and balanced Trinidad. That was during colonial times. That has since changed. They have taken off anything from Tobago and put only Trinidad and dollar. They want to give us a little cocky crow. Yeah? They give us a pest. They give us a pest for the national bird, folks. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. They give us a pest because Tobago is like a pest to them. That's what they do. Humiliate us. Everything that Tobago has, they give us a pest. And they remove this wonderful thing. This boat, because we had several ports in Tobago. Several ports, yeah? And we always had coconut tree. The next thing they have done is to cut down all the tall coconut tree and give us shiny coconut tree. All of that, folks? They have given us shiny coconut tree. They have killed Tobago. And tonight, they are casting lots. When you go to James Park, hold on. When you go to James Park, you will see Tobago in a coffin. You ever see that? Tobago right next to the bank, FCD bank. They have placed Tobago in a coffin. Note, that is symbolic, eh? They have killed Tobago. This is our constitution. Watch it, the laws of Tobago. You see, folks? Can you see it? The laws of Tobago. Book 1, Constitution and Legislation. Tobago had its own constitution right up to 1876. Tobago had its own constitution. I will show you where we had our own Chief Justice. We ain't playing jokes, you know, folks. This is where we had our own bank. And I want to show you. I'm going to put big up this. Be it enacted by the governor of Tobago with the advice and consent of the legislative council thereof as follows. This ordinance may be cited as a savings bank ordinance under Tobago laws. We had our own bank here, and it was the legislative council in Tobago that was making laws with the what? Advice and consent. They have killed the Tobago House of Assembly. Let me speed on. I want to show you the part where we had our own hospital here. We had our colonial surgeon here. We have, this is where we have our, this man here, inspector. Duties of an inspector of police. He was like a police commissioner. He had to meet with the governor and recommend laws for the good order of Tobago. We had that right here. There was no Gary Griffith speaking to us in Tobago here. Then I will come and show you. I need to show you this one. Chief Justice. Chief Justice. Bear with me, folks. Right. Here it is. Read it good. Read it good. Can you all see that, folks? Chief Justice. Chief Justice. It says the governor may from time to time appoint some fit and proper person, being a barrister of not less than 5 years, standing from some time, from some place within Her Majesty's dominions, to be Chief Justice of this island. Folks, that was under the laws of Tobago. I want to leave it right there, folks. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I want to pull away now and tell you something. There is a group of people in Tobago who believe that they are luminaries, who believe they are bright, and they will never tell you the truth. They will never ever tell you that from, and I'm quoting now from the Trinidad and Tobago Parliament website. This is it, if you research the site. From 1769, Tobago had a Tobago House of Assembly. We had a two-chamber system. A lower house where persons were elected, and an upper house where persons were appointed. That continued up until about 1875, when they merged and became a unicameral system. Nevertheless, it always made laws for the good governance and peace of Tobagonians. Today, we have a House of Assembly that the PNM has killed, and they are casting lots. They have killed it because the House of Assembly cannot make any single law. We have no inspector of police. Well, I mean, we have no police commissioner. We have no chief justice. We have no bank. All the banks are Trinidad banks, guided and controlled by the central bank. If you want a good doctor, you have to wait for you to come from Trinidad. If you ask me, ask the person who did. They will tell you to get a doctor to cut them open. They have to wait until one come up from Trinidad. Folks, Tobago has never been as badly off as it is today. I don't want you to ever feel comfortable with that. And we walk around the place with smiles, telling ourselves everything is okay. But it reminds me of a period when slavery was abolished. In 1833, when slavery was abolished in Tobago, there's a book on it. It is said the slaves and them danced in the street. They was happy. They were no longer slaves, no longer forced to work, and they went to work for themselves. But the plantation holders were brilliant men. They sat and they devised a way to enslave all of them without putting chains on their hands. You see, when they were slaves, they gave them a place to sleep. They gave them clothes. They gave them food. And there was a doctor. Albeit it was very poor, but they got that. Now that they were free, they had to pay for a place. Alright? They had to pay for a doctor, had to buy clothes, and they had to buy food. So you engage them and say, look, take my land and work, and you keep some, and I keep some. All of them, regardless how much lands they had to come back, because they found there was no place to sell their produce. Who controlled the ships? It was Massa. Alright? And if the Massa say we're not putting up goods on the ship, what are we going to do? It reminds us of what's happening today. Today we have many farmers producing a lot, nowhere to sell them, nowhere to sell their goods. So therefore, Tobago farmers are not planting much again. They have killed Tobago. And what is passing for an election is simply the big boys casting lots to see who will win, who will go home with the bag, who will go with the thing of value. I cry shame on them tonight. Tonight, we have come out in this color black. We have come out PDP, a group of young people supported by senior people. And we are here to say to you tonight, we are here to stay. We're not going anywhere. Come hell or high water, prison or no prison, we will fight for you. We will fight. Many persons have died hoping to see a free Tobago. Robinson made a speech, but he died not seeing it. So many persons waited for a free Tobago. Tobago has been linked to Trinidad forcibly since 1889, and they have simply destroyed our capacity to create wealth. They have destroyed our capacity to live. And so when they see a Tobagoan come down Trinidad and doing well, they say, boy, you from Tobago? They're not shocked. They're not shocked. Sometimes it's a belief that Tobagonians don't dress up nice. You understand? So when they see me nice than that, they want to know, hey, I go to Tobago, I don't see nobody dress up like you. Because the place hot. I have no proper air conditioned office. I have to be on the road all the time. If I work in here, there's no need to be dressed up nice, so. Because everything right around you, you're walking to it, you're coming back. Folks, this is our plan. Let me get on serious business now. We are going to redefine the independence of Tobago. Redefine something means when the lines get blurred and can no longer be seen. Like the white line on the highway. You with me? When those lines become invisible to the eyes, accidents can happen. There are times when all you could depend upon for safety is the white line. And if you miss it, it's death. Folks, we need to redraw the lines. And I'm making it plain tonight to Trinidad. We not on any folly. We not on any stupid talk. Our agenda is clear. Tobago's independence. It is the same language that Scotland is speaking. Scotland said they want independence in this year, 2020. Because when you are in a relationship and it's advantageous, you have to act for your independence. We just don't want independence. We want to maintain a relationship with Trinidad. But it must be one of respect. Not one where they dominate us. Not one where they use the bus and send it across here. Not one when after they chew the chewing gum and they spit it out, they say, look that boy, stop that. We don't want that. We want to have everything right here. Why should we go to Trinidad and buy a car and then bring it over? Where is our cargo port? Why is Trinidad imposing taxes on us? Why? Because we have no law-making authority across here. And so the first thing we want from Trinidad after the election is political independence. With political independence come legislative sovereignty. Or we will have a parliament or a house of assembly that is superior and equal to that of Trinidad. So no laws they make in Trinidad could override any laws here. And I'll tell you why quickly. There are some things we want to do in Tobago. One, you see income tax. We want to remove income tax from a salary. Nobody must pay income tax on their salary. There are different ways to tax people. For instance, in Florida, nobody pays income tax in Florida. You don't pay tax on your income, you work for that. Why tax your income? Alright? You could tax other things. Why tax your income? Alright? We are saying there should be no income tax. And you will hear the economists and the financial persons coming up and say, that doesn't make sense. I will tell them, go to hell. Alright? Because all the years you have been around, which idea you contributed that makes sense? Eh? Some people are around forever, contributing ideas, and I probably never make sense. Because all we know in Tobago is catch ass. All we know in Tobago is catch tail. Eh? So we will remove income tax. Your income is yours. We're going to find a different way to tax you. Then we are going to create spaces in Tobago, special spaces that will be duty-free. Duty-free, folks. That requires a law. We can't ask Trinidad to do that for us. Alright, folks? Listen to me. A place called Cayman Islands. The population is the same size of Tobago. The landmass is the same, albeit it is scattered. Yet in Cayman Islands, 1.85 cents in the Cayman Islands equal 1 US. You hear me? Their money is bigger than the US. They have no natural resources, no drinking water, no rivers. They can't plant there. But the Cayman Islands is making more money than Tobago. They have no gas. They have no quarry. But they are making more money than Tobago. Folks, let me tell you this. Tobago is one of the richest places in the Caribbean. Richest places. And I tell you this. In I can't remember the year, but sometime back, natural gas and oil brought in about $60 billion revenue. Alright? $60 billion revenue. Now 70% of that, I don't want to confuse you with the figures, yeah? But let me use a normal figure to make it simple for you so you can remember. Picture this. This country, Trinidad and Tobago, is run by more gas than oil. 70% of the oil and gas money is gas. Okay? So let's say Trinidad rakes in a revenue of $100 billion from natural gas. They found BP, and it was in the newspapers about 3 months ago. BP found off Charleville a gas find that is producing 40% of what Trinidad is now producing on a daily basis. You hear me? So if on a yearly basis they are producing $100 billion from gas, then on a yearly basis Tobago is able to produce 40 billion of that. That's what I'm saying, folks?
Yeah, we do maths.
Folks, you do the maths out? Now Trinidad must spend that 100 billion between 1.3 million people. Whereas Tobago must spend the 40 billion just around 60,000 people. Do you see why we are rich? In some countries, there is God who the citizens are. Alright? You see, in the country of the Emirates, Dubai and Qatar, and places you can't pronounce. I went to Dubai recently, and see, in Dubai, there are strict laws, but the laws relax for the tourists. Alright? They want to ensure that the citizens remain citizens. And you can marry and become a citizen so easy, you know. Because when you're born with money, you're born with favor. So last night, I went and I checked Ali. Sometime back, I went and I checked the next lady, and I was giving her wheelchairs. You know? And I get the wheelchairs at a reasonable price. So I distributed from my money, my salary. You know, when I asked Ali, she tell me the old chair she get is loan she, and she had to sign a contract for it. I say, we wicked in Tobago, eh? We wicked in Tobago. They're giving you old chair to bring it back when you finish with it. I don't sign a contract to bring it back. Folks, when we get into office, the differently able will be treated with dignity.
That's right.
We wouldn't be talking about building a school, you know. In the first year, we're building the damn school. And we will be providing buses for them. But more than that, anybody who wants a wheelchair, I am crossing my heart today, will be getting a motorized wheelchair. Only motorized wheelchair we want in Tobago, because you must benefit from the wealth in Tobago. You must benefit from the wealth. And you see, when you have lawmaking power, when we have political and independence and legislative sovereignty, which means our legislative arm is sovereign, second to none, but equal to Trinidad, we would be able to tell Trinidad where to get off. Alright? Because we will make the laws for ourselves. They can't tell us what to do. Let me speed up. Folks, we want what is called judicial, as Dr. Fable said to you, independence. As I showed you, we had our own Chief Justice. We have lawyers too in Tobago. People who damn bright. And we could do the work. And we are saying the Chief Justice must be a man from Tobago, and we will not be going to Trinidad for any capital offense. We will be creating the best prisons in the world. There's a place, I think it's Norway, have one of the better prisons. There are some prisons now they're creating today where even when I commit capital offense, there's no handcuff on your hand. There's no lockdown. You could walk around. You could cook. You could read books. Because prison is about reform and not punishment. I say it again, prison is about reform and not punishment. If Christ was to treat us as our sin deserve. In fact, let me quote the scripture for you. David is one of his psalms. He said, out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord, hear my voice. He said, Lord, if you should mark iniquity, who shall stand? He said, but there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. Any nation that would be respected by its people must exercise forgiveness. You must put a system in place to restore those who went afoul of the law. And that system is not brutalizing them. No. Sometimes committing the crime alone and spending one night thinking about it is sufficient to change a man's heart. But when you take somebody from Tobago and you send them in Trinidad to mingle with criminals, let me tell you this, the little criminals suffer now. One time, they had me down there, you know, always lock him up for stupidness. So they had me in the prisoners' docks in Port of Spain. They tell me I was by myself, but some bad prisoners come, and I said, Duke, we got to put you with them prisoners across here. About 12 men in a little cage. So I went across there, and I needed no introduction. But by the time I go, I said, oh, so, but the leader, there's always a leader among them. He said, all you know who the man is? He said, all you know who the man is? He's Mr. Duke, you know. He began to introduce me. I didn't even know. I sit down in a corner there, and it's talks after talks after talks. And right there I begin to learn about the system. Because there we have the guys and them educated me. They say when a man come inside with a gold teeth in the mouth, they just give him soap to bite. I said, why? I said, take off the cap. Take off the gold cap now. Understand? They're going to know if you're smoking, if you're smoking, based on the color of the cap. They say, and if you give the boy, if you give a man a cap, a gold cap, then you might get a favor. You might get some cigarettes, and then you might get a little protection. So begin to understand the ropes. Inside there, I found a lawyer who tell me now, like you stand up. Like you stand up. Inside there, find a man who could call shots at the Duke. Just give me the address, go yourself. As some boys out there on bicycle riding around. They will deal with that for you. Go yourself. Folks, let me tell you this. The prison system today is not nice. Because it is not about reform. It's about gangsters. And so in Tobago we want to have our own laws, our own parliament, our own judicial independence. So when something happens in Tobago, you must be tried in Tobago. Trinidad is the only Caribbean country that practices extradition. They are taking people from Tobago and carry them down Trinidad for trial, keep them down in prison. And ought not to happen, folks. We will stop that. You will be able to visit your children, your family, right here. And we will set up the best reform prison system known unto man. We should have our own police commissioner, prison commissioner, fires commissioner, and we will employ our people. They started to build a fast station in Black Rock. Through smartness, they stop. Why they stop now? Why they stop? Folks, this PNM, they have killed Tobago and they have casted lots. Let me hasten up with this. The last thing I want to speak about is economic independence. Right now, Tobago is a victim to Trinidad. And they're speaking about something called internal self-government. We do not want internal self-government. I'm saying it clearly. We do not want internal self-government. Because internal self-government means that Trinidad becomes your government. Alright? That's what internal self-government means. Trinidad becomes your government. And let me give you an example. When they wanted to move the people from Crown Point and put them somewhere, They had to ask Trinidad for the money. So here come Imbert Boston. He said, I gave Tobago permission to borrow 300 million. Remember that? Because he lent them the money. That's what internal self-government mean. It means if you want to engage in a build, own, operate, transfer contract like Milshirv, you have to get permission from Trinidad. Having internal self-government means you have a central bank in Trinidad and they will send them up whenever they feel like. Otherwise, cool will blast itself and wait. Oh, go Trinidad, them man lock your neck. I talk in the normal language, you can understand that. I will language that. We need to preserve that. We need to control Tobago. And I want to tell Trinidad, I've been training for years like a guerrilla soldier. Training in Trinidad. So I know every nook, every cranny, every corner. Alright folks? I know every hill and every valley. I know every crooked way and every straight way. I know we come back a yard to say, there we go now. Are ready? We are ready for independence. And it's the only thing we're talking about. You see, when I have an independent Tobago and an independent Trinidad, then we could sit down and talk man to man. And we could arrange whether we want to get married. If you want to talk to a girl and she's not independent, what should I tell you? Any woman out here? It's only men? If you want to talk to a girl and she doesn't have control of her own self, what she tells you? She's like, I can't talk to you, I have to talk to my parents first. That's all? You have to talk to my parents first. And so, if anybody wants to engage with Tobago, want to engage Tobago in tourism, in development, they have to talk to Trinidad. Are you with me? I want to break this thing down simply now. If anybody, if well standards wanting to engage Tobago, who they talk to? Trinidad. Folks, any single thing before any state company engage in any service across here, they must talk to Trinidad. Yeah?
That's right.
I'm telling you, we can best be describing Tobago as the living dead. Because nothing happens in Tobago here. If you want the glasses, it had to go down Trinidad and fix it up. You want your national ID, it had to go Trinidad and print it up. Yes! Even TT Post takes orders from Trinidad. What's that? Takes orders from Trinidad. Immigration takes orders from Trinidad. Customs and Excise takes orders from Trinidad. What's that? They can take all about folks. The banks, they takes orders from Trinidad. Folks, let me tell you this. Even the police force, if they want to arrest the chief secretary tonight, all the commissioner has to do is to tell Tobago, please detain the chief secretary. And all of the police who is guarding him, they say, boss, holiday, clacks, handcuff on the hand, let him go down the road. Because they take orders from Trinidad. I show you tonight where we had our own police across here. We need to have our own police. Alright? We need to take our own orders from our own police. We need to run our show. But there's some people who are happy with the way we are and they will tell the juke talking madness. Where we get money from? The Stolen Park Quarry is only 3 of that in the world. 3 of that. You can find it in Canada, you can find it in Dominican Republic, and you can find it in Tobago. That's how we know Tobago is different from the rest of Caribbean islands. Tobago alone have the blue stone. And you can find it in Studley Park, in Castar, and several places in Tobago. Right outside Tobago, on Englishman Bay, there's a buried island. An island is buried outside there, about 300 meters under the ground. This island is as big as Tobago, with hills and valleys. Nobody knows if that was sunken Atlantis. Nobody knows. They wouldn't discover it. But there's a reason why Tobago changed hands some 33 times. There's a reason why the French fought to Tobago, the Spanish, the Dutch, the Hollanders. There's a reason why so many people fought for Tobago, even English. Simply because Tobago was valuable. There's a reason why Tobago has the oldest forest reserve in the Western Hemisphere. It is older than the Amazon. You hear me? Look at Tobago. This Tobago here, the rainforest up there is older than the Amazon protected forest. It's only recently protected the Amazon forest. When these people came, they found something up there that in the 1700s, you see how far? They made a law because they could make law back then. And they said, this is a forest reserve. So from since then, since the 1700s, it has been protected. Folks, there are many islands that do not have water. Barbados, there is no rivers, no waterfalls. Antigua, Bahamas, many islands. Tobago has over 20 different waterfalls all over, but they are inaccessible to those with wheelchairs. We will grant access to all of those things, all of those waterfalls. There are beautiful beaches in Tobago which can only be accessed by boat, and you will never know. We must grant proper access to those things. We must beautify Tobago. And today I sat down and I told myself, you know what? Self, we have been speaking about this a very long time. But there's something we must do. Because one thing about me is that when I'm in charge, I don't go in charge. Right? When I'm in charge, I don't go in charge. And if anybody in Tobago feel bad, I tell them try running to PDP. I alone defended it. I alone go defend it, folks. Because we ain't come out to play skin and grin. We are on a serious mission. There's some people who love to see people in advantage. And they're talking about, well, when will you be able to go on your own? Right after we win the bloody elections. Right after give us East and West, we are ready to go on our own. So here's the plan. The plan is simply this. Let's say tonight is the election, and we win the West, and we win the East, and the ball jam in Trinidad. They must now look to Tobago for the power ball. Alright? Yes. And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you tonight, we are not interested in holding positions. We want no position. Because they will kill you, poison your water, give you food to eat. They will crush you, they will kill you. All kind of man, they're wicked down there. I know they're wicked. Alright? So what I will do is to say to them this, and I tell them now. I said before we go forward, you see the first month, we want Tobago bills alone pass in the parliament. Right? Tobago bills alone. And we will create the House of Assembly with lawmaking powers to pass laws on every single thing. We must fight for that. We ain't going to ask for some. We want to control the damn sea. All the resources in it. We want to control the airspace. We want to control every immigration. We want to control customs. Some of them custom people charging a big set of money for nothing. We must decide the laws we want to live by. It's a little bit away. And by the way, all of you are one family. So what? We could live good. Isn't it? Yeah. Alright. We will set the agenda. But we need to stop them. Because every quarter, they just give us a little piece of money in a Tobago House of Assembly fund. We will be saying to them, we don't want a little piece of money. We want 10% of the national budget. So if it's 60,000, we want 60 billion. Sorry. We want 6 billion. And we want it straight away. Straight in account. Don't tell me how to spend my money. It's only parents to tell the children that. That's all. Only parents to tell the children that. Look, I give you $5. And when you go, make sure you buy the pie and the orchard. Don't do nothing else with the money. That is where they be telling Tobago. And these people comfortable with that. I don't care how much money you're giving me. Don't tell me how to spend the money. Because I manage, you know. I manage too bad. If my mother was alive, she'll tell you that. I manage real bad. And I come here to represent you. We have a right to be the owners of this island. We want 10% of the money. And don't ask me for no reason. Don't ask me for no reason, folks. Just give me 10%. Why? If they don't give us, we're not voting with them. And if we don't vote with them, they will have nobody to become prime minister. So we simply sit down and we'll vote against anybody they make prime minister. Let me tell you, those who hold power in Trinidad are very wicked. Trinidad is being run by wicked men and wicked women. People who do not love people. What they love? Money. Money. And they love to eat wine and cheese and to be in big association. Who is who? Well, I tell you, my wife from Trinidad, my trace from a Trinidad born there, so half and half. But until she asked me win, we're coming back over. And done with down there. I have a young daughter, 18, now start studying law. We're going to find a way to work it out. Because I built a hell of a nice house, you know. But I had that time to sleep in the house. Because I live on the plane. Back and forth. Fighting 2 battles. Tobago, as I close tonight, I don't want to go any further. I want to tell tonight, I'm in love with Tobago. PDP is in love with Tobago. I want to call Tashia Burris, my running mate for Tobago West. If I find she come on the stage here. I want to call Brother Farley. Get ready, Gada night. Get ready. I want to call Dr. Faith. I want to call Sean Ned, our chairman, our deputy chairman. Where is him? Come on, if you are wrong, come up on the stage. All those within the PDP executive, will come up. If you are wrong, come up on the stage a little bit. I know the night is fast spent. But when you're getting ready for victory, you must be prepared for war. Alright? And you have to be able to go for the long haul. One day in Trinidad, I led 1,000 persons walking from Port of Spain straight up Laventille around them big tank and come back down the road. You know what? I was training them. I wanted to see them metal and they did it. Folks, we cannot get weary now. We must own this message and defend this message. The only thing we want is a free and independent Tobago that is on par with Trinidad. We have a party that consists of young intellectual people, young ordinary people, right? And we're ready for the battle. Yes. Are you ready for the battle, Tobago? Yes. Tobago, are you ready for the battle? Yes. Tobago, do you want independence? Yes. Tobago, do you want independence? Yes. And that's the only thing we're talking. Own parliament, own chief justice, own commissioner of police, our own jail system, make we own laws. Let Trinidad have nothing to do with us except we want that. They say too radical. Well, we have been living with Trinidad for a very long time. Let's go, folks. And Trinidad always treat us bad. Look what I do with Central Bank. One of my partners here a very good song. His name is Gala Night. Wait. Gala Night. He coming. After from Space side. Some years ago, I didn't know him. He said, boy, let me sing a song for you. I said, you could sing, boy. I said, you could sing. And now discovered he could sing a song. And then he came in love with PDP. And he wrote a song. And he only got this song out on Friday. Right? So it's a fresh song. And it's the first place he's singing the song. A very simple song. It says vote PDP, vote PDP. So I want everybody to sing the song and get to the real wasi. Because we just create our own rules. We don't live by nobody's rules. Alright? We are Tobago, a we had our own laws. And that was when Tobago had a population of 18,000. 1/8. The population was 18,000. And we had our own Chief Justice, own police commissioner, our own bank, everything. Now we have 60,000 and they're saying Tobago too small. Somebody saying Tobago can't operate on its own. Tobago have nothing to sell. Tobago have no gas, you have no stone, you have no tourism. Tobago ugly. Tell me haul there and drag there and pell there out of here. Alright? Because anybody test we, they're gonna fight. Alright? Gaja.